Hi everyone, I'm Stacy Bosfeld and I'm going to be sharing a little bit about topic number 18 about triangulation. Triangulation, as you might imagine, has to do with triangles. Originally, the term comes from surveyors trying to find a specific location by comparing more than one point. Triangulation can be used to determine or compare any three ideas. And if they're going to be valid, they do need to be determined to be well connected. So for instance, a triangle, yes, that has 3 points connected. That one, not quite. There is some connection, but not a whole lot. And then finally, yeah, definitely not. So triangulation in lesson planning. Lesson planning is something that really needs to be, the center of focus needs to be student learning. So you can see all these different things around the circle are connected: planning, instruction, assessment. And in order for student learning to be maximized, all things have to be connected well. So what does that mean? Why is it needed? Why do we need to triangulate? By triangulating, again, we are able to maximize the potential student learning because all things are supporting that learning, from the planning, the standards, the instruction, the activities you're doing in the classroom, to the assessment. And how is it necessary? Well, all standards, activities, and the assessments must support each other for student learning to really be maximized. And how is this going to be executed? Well, just like everything else, it takes some training. It takes a lot of research. I'm sure you're all doing research for this topic, and planning to determine that success in triangulation. So I wanted to supply you some examples of triangulation. First, we'll start with the poor triangulation. This is using Minnesota Standard 2.114. The standard talks about rounding to the nearest 10 and rounding to the nearest 100. So what would be an activity that Dr. B would be like, hey, you probably want to find something a little more interesting? Well, the teacher goes right through worksheets with the students. And just because we can't really connect everything, the teacher decides to do an assessment on rounding based on coins, which the students haven't worked with yet. So this would not be a valid way to triangulate this standard. What is a good way to triangulate the standard? Well, again, we have our standard listed there. And then we have a multitude of activities for students to participate in. First, discussion with the class, talking about a number line and putting points on it to determine if it's closer to number 10 or closer to 0. And then going to some different number lines like 20, 50, or 100. After that, students can create their own number line and choose their own numbers, maybe numbers that are important to them. Then they can break into groups, and to extend it even further to real world situation, take a bunch of dice and count up what the total is on those dice and determine what 10 or 100 they might be rounding closest to. For an assessment, I don't really believe in tests. I believe in authentic assessment. So this is a way to find 10 real world items that the students can actually relate to. And in order to allow all types of learners to have a positive assessment, this can be done verbally, one-on-one with the teacher. It can be typed, or it can be written. And students can use that number line to support their answers. The idea here is that teachers will provide the students what they need: a template, a rubric, to allow guidance so that they are successful. Students can then decide to count things in the room: number of children in class, number of steps to the bathroom. I particularly like that one. This way, the standard and the triangulation is valid. References are here. If you have any further questions, please let me know. Again, I'm Stacy Bosfeld. Thank you.